Hi guys, Megan here. I noticed the other day that Reagan from Peru's Project had done a top 5 summer reads, so I decided to do something similar to that. This is also going to be sort of a library book haul video, just a quick one. So these books are not going to be in any particular order, and before I begin, I wanted to do some honorable mentions. The first one is Will and Wit by Laura Lee Gullidge. I thought this was an amazing book. One of my favorites for over the summer. It was just gorgeously done, both story-wise and with art. The other one that I wanted to mention was This One Summer by Jillian Tamaki, and I cannot remember the other one's name right now. This was a beautiful graphic novel, all done in purple, as you can see, and it's just a stunning coming-of-age story between two preteen girls. The other one that I absolutely loved was Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. I'll be doing that in my September wrap-up, I think, but it was just glorious. I read Between Shades of Grey by her as well, and I thought it was amazing and just grips me in right from the get-go, and I thought it was wonderful. And the last book I would mention is Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I absolutely love this book. I love Lola and her sense of style and fashion, and I just blew through it in a couple of days. So, let's get to the top 5. Like I said, they're in no particular order. I just wanted to review them. The first book I have is Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. This is a book I would definitely recommend to anybody. It is really great. It is coming of age. Story about a girl who is a lesbian, but she does not want to be labeled as such, and that's sort of the whole premise of the book, is that she doesn't want to be labeled, and it was just really good, and I think there should be more books like that. The next book that I would mention is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This took me just like a little bit to get into, but not too much, but once I was in, I was hooked, and I was just enthralled with the story of Kath and Levi and her sister Ren, and pretty sizable too. But nonetheless, I did also get through it in a few days and found it really, really enjoyable. The next book that I loved was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This is the perfect summer read, just about two girls that are best friends and a bucket list for the summer, and it was just a lot of fun, a really great ride. The next book was also by Morgan Matson, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. This was perfect for reading on a road trip, definitely, for sure. It was just really, really good. And I love the little bits and pieces of stuff that Morgan Matson put into within the book, like receipts and photographs and stuff that she herself took when she did a road trip across the country. I think she said that she had done it like 5 times. But I love that that was a centrifugal part of the story, and she incorporated that. And the last book that I would mention is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This was just so good. I can totally understand why everybody in bookland, booktube land, is raving about this and just considers it a classic, because it is amazing. It's like, it's not a romance novel at all, but it's like the perfect amount of romance. And I love that Paris is a character, and it might be cliche that, oh, that's in Paris, it's a love story, but it wasn't. It was very, very different. And there were some parts that took place in the States too, but I love the character of Anna and St. Clair and just everybody in it. It was really, really good. So that's all that I have for the top 5 summer reads. Oh, by the way, all 5 of those that I just mentioned, I gave 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, just as an afternote. But yeah, I did. The next order of business is this book haul, which is not too substantial. I had to hold myself back a little, and I have to, because I have too many books on my shelves that just are waiting to be read and that I cannot wait to read. But still, I wanted to get a few, because my boyfriend and I went to one of the libraries because we thought we were going to a seminar for one thing, and we get there and we sit down and we realize that it's not, and so we had to leave, and it was awkward. But we were at a library, so we figured, why not? Let's just get some books too. So the first set of books is part of a series. I read the first one already, and this is the second one. It is, I don't think it has a trilogy name. It's a trilogy, but it doesn't have like a name per se because they all have 3 different titles. So the first one was Color of Earth, and I'm partway into The Color of Water, and the third one is The Color of Heaven, and they're all by Kim Dong-hwa. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced the name, but these are really great. I guess they're the equivalent of a manga, but in Korea, I forget the term, but they just look like graphic novels to me, you know, because they go left. You read them left to right. You don't have to read them from the back to the front. So they're like a regular book in that aspect. I love the first one, so I love the way this is going so far, and I can't wait to see what else happens. It's just a mother and daughter coming of age kind of story. Yeah, and I'm enjoying it so far. The next one that I have is Neil Gaiman, The Graveyard Book. I have never read Neil Gaiman before, but I've just heard nothing but great things about him, and he's huge. I didn't realize how huge he is, but I started to notice that I've heard his name over and over again for years, and I've never read a book of his, so I have The Graveyard Book, which I guess is one of his best books, and so I can't wait to read that. The next book that I have is The Meanest Doll in the World by Anna Martin. I read The Doll People last month or the month before because I love Anna Martin. She wrote the Babysitter's Club books, and so I've loved her books for years and wanted to read something other than the Babysitter's Club by her. And so I read The Doll People because of the illustrations initially, and I absolutely loved it, and came to find out that there was a sequel, and then I happened upon the sequel yesterday, and so I'm like, I'm reading that, so I'm excited to read it. She looks scary, but apparently that's the meanest doll in the world, so I'm interested to see what happens here. The next book I have is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I have also seen this all over BookTube. I've never really heard it talked about before. I mean, I think Raylina from Padfoot and Prongs 007 reviewed this, or like she just spoke about it for a minute there in one of, maybe it was a tag or something. And it sounded really good from what she said, and I just noticed it on other booktubers' bookshelves, and I kind of wanted to know what the hype was about, so I picked this one up as well. The next book that I grabbed is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine. It's about a girl in 1943. A British spy plane crashes in Nazi-occupied France. Its pilot and its passenger are best friends. One of the girls has a shot at survival, the other has lost the game before it's hardly begun. So I guess one of the girls is a spy, and I think it's all from her perspective, and I think she gets arrested, and a bunch of interesting things happen. I've also seen this all over BookTube, and it sounds really, really good, so I picked it up. And the last book, oh, whoops, there's 2 more. This next book I have is Catherine, The Great Journey by, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see the author. It's a Royal Diaries. It's part of the Royal Diaries series. I've also been reading this series for many years. Well, it ended, I think, a few years ago, but a couple summers ago I took it upon myself to try to read every book in the series. I think there's like 17, but I didn't end up finishing it, and I think there are like 3 left, and this is one of them. So I had never read this before, and it is about Catherine. She's from Russia, and it's 1743. I don't really know much else beyond that, but I know obviously she's a monarch, or somebody royal. So I'm excited to say that I read every book in the Royal Diary series. That would be kind of cool for me. And the last book that I have in this haul is Kenny and the Dragon by Tony DiTerlizzi. I have never read his books, but I'm going to be putting in my haul soon that I have completed my quest to find secondhand the entire Spiderwick Chronicles, and so he is the author of them. So I decided this would be cool to read this first and kind of get my feet wet with him and see, like, you know, how much I like his style. And I read, well, just by the cover alone, it looks pretty intriguing. A little hare and a big dragon. It looks like a lot of fun, and so I am excited to read this one. So these are the books that I got in my haul. Pretty good. Not too bad. But I'm going to blow through them as quickly as I can because I really want to get to the amazing books that I have just hauled and other books in my shelves that I've been neglecting. Other than that, I did start the 100-Foot Journey because I ended up seeing it a few days ago in theaters, and it was amazing. And 100-Foot Journey coincidentally happened to be the book that I pulled from my TBR jar for the month. So I'm going to finish reading that as soon as possible so that I can do my very first movie book tie-in comparison video. So I'm excited for that. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. If Have you read any of these books that I have just mentioned? And as for the ones in my haul that I haven't read yet, have you read them, and which one do you think I should read first? I would love to hear about it. Please let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon for probably my book haul, which is very exciting, very large. Thanks again. Bye.